Welcome. Blessings and thank you as always for joining me in my sacred space. I'm the Spiritual Links. My name given to me is Dazriel Greenwich, and I am a tarot and oracle card reader as well as a natural empath. I also have my master's in applied psychology, and I believe that very much impacts my practice and how I commune with the spirits and analyze the cards. Um, I want to say a bit about myself before I show the decks, but this video is mainly to show the different decks that I work with currently. Not all the decks I have, just the ones that are available for readings. If none of these decks connect with you, you can always ask me to see some other decks and I'll show other decks I have as well. But these are the main decks I'm using currently. But before I get to that, I want to introduce myself. So once again, I'm the Spiritual Links Desiree Greenwich, and I live in Japan. I've lived in Japan for 4 years. Currently, I am 32 years old. I have been practicing tarot since February of 2021. So I'm still in the beginning. I'm currently completing Working the Witch's Web Tarot course by Avalon Cameron. It's a great course. I just wanted to put that in there because some of my inspiration for how I read tarot and how I approach the cards is from a perspective of the witch or from the craft. Disclaimer, just putting this out here, there's no evil. I am not worshiping the devil. There's no devil worship. I commune with good spirits. I pray and talk to God every day, every night. So I commune with God, of course, Jesus Christ, his angels. I also am very close with the Orishas Oya and Yamoja or Yamoya. So sometimes they influence my picking of the card. I also have made connections with some spirit guides. So one of them is Raven, and she sometimes directs me with which cards to choose. Or my spirit animal, which is a purple dragon. Her name is Ryoku. So that's just something about me before we get into the cards. Now I'm going to start by showing the deck that first introduced me to Oracle and Tarot cards. And this is the Japanese 8 Million Gods Oracle deck. I was gifted this by a friend. We saw this in a very cute local Japanese shop. However, I do not do readings with this deck. This entire deck, the cards, everything is in Japanese. My Japanese isn't the best. So I'm just showing this to show my Oracle card beginning. However, I don't do readings with this deck. The decks that I do readings with, however, and we're starting first with the Earthcraft Oracle. This is one of my favorite decks. The guidebook that accompanies it has a lot of affirmations, and I'm just going to show you a page. So it gives you little tasks to do. Sometimes there are affirmations, sometimes there's meditation, sometimes there are little ritual spells, but it has a very big earth energy, very big mother nature, earth mother energy. So if you're one that's connected to the earth spirits or the elements, this would be a perfect deck for you. And I'm just going to show some of the cards from this deck just so you get a feel for the artwork. They're beautiful cards. It has a very stained glass window effect in my opinion, but the cards are just gorgeous, very diverse, all different skin types and ethnicities. So that's the Earthcraft Oracle. Uh, Another deck that you have as an option to do readings with me with is the Secrets of Wanwood deck. Now I would call this more of a story type deck. So it has a pretty chunky guidebook, and inside the guidebook you have the stories for each card, and the stories can be about 3 or so pages long. So if you're doing a reading with me and it's a text reading, you're going to get the entire story, and then we're going to talk about perhaps some of the messages that can be interpreted from the story, what the fable might be trying to teach you, what it's about, the themes, and so on. And this is basically a journey of following one of the main characters called Matlock the Hare. This is Matlock the Hare right here as well. And it tells you stories about the magical creatures in Wanwood. Another option for a deck you have is the Mind Maze Oracle. This is a very beautiful deck. It's a Russian deck, so the translation for the guidebook, the English is a bit wonky. However, I do intuitive readings, so in addition to letting you know what's in the guidebook, I will also provide uh, my own intake and send that in text if you have specific questions or not. But the very minimum you'll get is the translation from the guidebook. I find this deck to be more intense. So like Earthcraft Oracle, the deck I showed you earlier, is more nurturing, motherly, kind. This deck is more in your face. I'm gonna tell you what's happening in your life, holding back nothing kind of deck. So just be careful if you choose that. And all of these decks that I'm showing you are Oracle decks. These are all Oracle decks. The last Oracle deck that I'm going to show you is the Cosma Visions Oracle. This is my favorite Oracle deck to work with because I just love the imagery. This is very beautiful. And the unique thing about this Oracle deck is that similar to a tarot deck, they are 22 cards in what we can call the major arcana, and then there are the 40 cards that make up what we would call the minor arcana, and then 16 court cards. So like this is one of the court cards. It also has an extra card called Dream World. So this deck actually has 79 cards in total. So you caught me. There's a bit about tarot I did not explain. So tarot has tarot decks, which I'll show you next, are 78 card decks. All tarot decks have 78 cards. Some of them have bonus cards. So for example, this is the bonus card in the deck that I'm holding in my hand. But they all have 78 cards. 22 in the major arcana, 16 court cards, and 40 cards in the minor arcana. So the minor arcana and the court cards, they usually come together, and that would give you your 56 cards in the minor arcana. So this is my first tarot deck that I got. I've done most of the readings with this deck. This is the Oliver Hibert tarot deck. It's very psychedelic. There is nudity in this deck, as you can see. It's very, very psychedelic. I love this deck. This is my first tarot deck. And this is one of the decks that's available if you are interested in a reading. It did not come with a guidebook. So for this deck, you will receive a very intuitive reading based on how I interpret the cards and whatnot. The next deck you have as an option is the Black Light Tarot deck. And this glows under black light, but I won't be doing black light readings. So even if you choose the option of a video call, I will not be turning off the lights and showing you the cards in the dark. I think that's a bit unnecessary. However, even without the black light, the cards are still very, very psychedelic, very dynamic, very bright, very hippie-like. This is a wonderful deck to work with. So if you choose this deck, and this deck came with a very small guidebook, so it's very to the point meanings. But like I said, I do add a bit of intuition to most readings, so you won't just be getting what comes in the guidebook, so you'll be getting my interpretation of the cards, especially if you ask specific questions. The next deck I have is a Spectrowhirl Tarot deck. And this is again a very psychedelic deck. Most of my decks are very bright, very colorful. So I like bright and color. So I don't have many dark and morbid, scary looking tarot decks. They're very bright and very colorful. This also came with a guidebook, so you will be getting some of it as well as my own interpretation of it. And this deck, I have the ability to do reverse readings for. Now, reverse readings is when you pull a card and it's upside down. It has a slightly different message. I am training, like I said, I've only been doing this since February 2021. I am still training with reverse meanings. The decks that have guidebooks that come with reverse meanings, it's obviously easier for me to do reverse readings with those decks. And the Spectrowhirl Tarot is one of them. The Cosma Visions Oracle is another one that I can do reverse readings with. And the very final tarot deck I have is the Mother Tarot. This is a very feminine deck. This has very feminine energy. And the cards are very colorful, very dynamic. It does have some nudity in it. I love how vibrant the artwork is. It's very nurturing, very motherly. Lots of mermaids in this deck, actually. So there we have it. And those are the decks. So those are the decks you can choose from if you want a reading with me. Like I said, I do reversals mainly with the Cosma Visions Oracle deck. This is the main deck that I'll do reversals in. I probably give my most in-depth readings with this deck simply because I work with this deck perhaps the longest. Even though I haven't had this for the longest, I've worked with this deck for a very long while. This deck is, I'm very connected to this deck. I'm very connected to this deck. So I pull a lot from the cards and I can give great readings, but I can give great readings with any of the decks. So don't feel pressure to choose this deck because I said that, just that I would be able to do reverse readings with this deck as well. Decks that don't have reverse readings, for example, are the Earthcraft Oracle. The way the cards are aligned, you really just, it's very hard to have a reverse reading. It's not impossible, but it's a bit challenging to have a reverse meaning with it. But as we work with the cards, you'll get what I mean. And reversals aren't necessarily necessary in tarot because usually it's, like I said, based on intuition and what messages you're receiving. So the messages usually influence what you're going to say about the card in any case. So that usually that usually paints the bigger picture. Some things you should know about tarot before you go. Tarot is not a form of divination made for yes or no answers. If you're signing up here because you want a yes or no answer, then tarot oracle cards are probably not what you're looking for. There are other forms of divination for that. There's a pendulum. I will also be doing pendulum readings in the future. So perhaps, ask me about doing a pendulum reading for you. But tarot is not designed for that. Tarot is designed for deep delving into your unconscious mind, deep delving into your spiritual self, and investigating yourself on a subconscious and a conscious level. So it really gets into the meat of the matter, not a plain yes or no answer. So I hope you liked looking at my decks. Like I said, for text, and by text I mean a written reading, whether it's Facebook. So my Facebook group is Spiritual Links. My Instagram is spiritual_links. And my YouTube channel is Spiritual Links. I'm not sure where you saw this video, but any and or all of those places you can DM me for a reading, private message me for a reading, and I will text you the reading. However, if you want a video call that's different, you're going to have to set a time. It's going to be more than $1 because it takes a lot more to do a video calls. It's not going to be too expensive, but depending on what you want, the fee can be anywhere from $5 to $30 depending on how long you want the call, how in depth it is, and it won't go over half an hour. I don't do readings for longer than half an hour. So that's, $30 for half an hour. That's great. That's $1 a minute, right? So just letting you know. Also, it takes time to do readings. So if you've requested a reading from me, it may take anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour or even longer. But you will receive your reading, especially once you've paid your dollar. So thank you so much once again for joining me in my sacred space. Happy that you can finally put a face to Spiritual Links. And blessings. Continue to live your true life and follow a path of love and peace. Blessings and positive energy.